Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford, Salina, Kansas. Your source for Ford news, update, and information, including your scheduling information, as we're covering the scheduling notes for this Thursday, December 4th, and what's going to happen in scheduling at the different factories. So if you like videos like this, want to stay updated on this, if you have an order placed, make sure you subscribe with that bell notification turned on so you don't miss any of our videos. So let's going to get into this. And we did not have a video last week because the plant did not schedule on Thanksgiving, because Thursdays are the days that they schedule for the plant. And this last Thursday, everybody was home enjoying time with their family and being thankful for their family. So this week we are scheduling for some production dates, and we're going to go through those in this video. So let's go ahead and first get into the terminology, things that you need to know, a little bit about what this process is like and what some of these terminologies mean. So first off, what we're talking about is when you place an order with your dealer, that order is placed in the order bank. That's where they place all their stock and their retail orders. A retail order, that's a customer placed order. So that is you as a customer wanting to buy that vehicle when it comes in. So you're ordering it to your specifications. A stock order, that's an order that is placed by the dealer that they plan to put on their lot or for stock or lot inventory. So they might want to order it a certain specific way based on how well they sell different trim levels and such. Priority code, that's a priority given to your orders by the dealer. A retail order type will get anything from an 03 to 19. 19 is the default, but a dealer can change that priority code. The lower, the better, which is why retails are looked at before stock. Stock can be anything from a 20 to an 80. And in that situation, an 80 is the default, and a dealer can make certain stock ones more valuable or more likely to try to get them scheduled by lowering it down below 80. Scheduling, that is when Ford schedules an order for production dates in the future month. That's what we're talking about in this video, is getting that order scheduled for production date. And a production date is when Ford plans to build your vehicle. It'll first get scheduled to the week, and then sometimes to the day. And sometimes on some of those models, it'll be like really quick. It'll get scheduled a week, and then real soon after that, get scheduled to the day, depending on the model. Allocations. Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. So a dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank. A dealer earns those allocations based on their sales of each model within their region. So here's the deal. You cannot get an order scheduled without a dealer having an allocation. So when you place an order with a dealer, if they have 0 allocations, your order won't get selected for scheduling, will not schedule for production date until they have allocations available. Constraints, that's an option that may be in short supply or take longer to build. And the capacity, that's the planned production rate for a particular motor, trim, option, that kind of thing. And then job 1 and 2, Ford will kind of puts different production into different job runs, and that allows them to maybe introduce something halfway through the year that they didn't have available at the beginning, like colors or something like that, like they have on the Maverick. Or sometimes if there's a supply issues, it's a way for them to be able to make a change to a package if they're having issues getting a certain feature from a supplier, so then they can make those changes for the second half of the year and not lose out on production. And then balance out, that's the end of production or the balance out of a particular model or trim. So when we say balance out, they're closing out that. So they want to balance it out, the dealer's allocations. They want to balance out everything that they owe to different dealers. And so they'll what they call balance out the scheduling and production for that. So there you go. Hopefully that makes some sense. If you have any questions on that, drop them down in the comments and description. We'll try to get those answers easily and quickly as we can. So let me put my glasses on and let's dive through and talk about the different models here, starting with the 26 model year Mustang. The order banks are open up for the 26 model year Mustang. They are scheduled this week. It does say they're going to do main commitment for February and cleanup scheduling for January. So what they want to do is finish out. Cleanup scheduling means that they still have some production availability for January, so they'll try to clean that up, and then they'll move on to scheduling for February as well within this same week. They are scheduled for the weeks of 2-2 to the weeks of 2-23. Exhaust availability for the 2.3 liter engine, which is standard on EcoBoost and EcoBoost Premium. Also, it says exhaust availability for the 5.0 liter V8 engine, which is standard on GT and GT Premium. And then also it says exhaust availability for the engine that's in the Dark Horse. So I don't know what they're planning to schedule there if every engine is exhausted. But I guess we'll just have to see. Don't know what that all means there. Because according to this, then if everything's exhausted, then they wouldn't be able to schedule any, but they're saying they're scheduling. So still, I'd say be hopeful. Evidently there's going to be some availability, or else they wouldn't be scheduling. Next up is the 26 model year Bronco Sport. The order banks are open up for the 26 model year. You can place an order. They are scheduled this week. Main commitment, main commitment usually means not only retails, but also stock will be selected. So if a dealer doesn't have a retail order, they'll be looking for that stock order to schedule it. So they'll schedule a mixture. And it does say in here they are scheduled for the weeks of 2-2 to the weeks of 2-23. And does also say orders with the engine block heater will not be selected for scheduling. I think originally they said they'd start scheduling those in February, but it looks like it's going to be maybe in February for maybe April production dates is what they really meant. So, but they are not scheduling engine block heaters yet. Limited availability for the Big Ben version and the Heritage version. So that's kind of gives you a little wrap up of what they're looking for. Limited does not mean that they won't schedule any, but they won't schedule a lot of them, right? So. All right, next up is the 26 model year Bronco. Order banks are open up for the Bronco. You can order those. They are scheduled this week for the weeks of 2-2 to the weeks of 2-23. Limited availability for the Heritage version. Exhausted availability for the base version. Actually, the base four-door version. And then important information, it says base and Raptor orders were created this past weekend. So if they created some base orders, but yet they have exhaust availability for the four-door, means they probably put in some base two-door orders for dealers. So dealers, you might want to go in and look at your orders and see if that's what you want to be scheduled for production. Because if you have an allocation available for a Raptor or a base, they will probably schedule those orders that they created. So just go in there and look at those and modify any of those orders. You can modify your stock orders within reason within that. So just maybe think about that. All right. Next up is the 26 model year Mustang Mach-E. Order banks are open up for the Mach-E. They're doing main commitment. Again, that means stock or retail could be selected for the weeks of 2-2 to the weeks of 2-23. So we're scheduling for February here. Next up is the 26 model year Explorer. Order banks are open up for the Explorer. Main commitment as well. Again, it means stock or retail for the weeks of 2-2 to the weeks of 2-23. So the February scheduling here for our Explorer. Exhausted availability for the ST line straight package. That's optional on the ST line. And then that's about it. It does say in here, please consider adding the active comfort package to avoid delaying scheduling of your active orders. If you're trying to get an active Explorer ordered and get scheduled, maybe think about adding that comfort package. So, all right. Next up is the 26 model year Expedition. The order banks are open up for the 26 model year. They are going to be scheduled this week for retail and stock main commitment here for the weeks of 2-2 to the weeks of 2-23. Exhausted availability for the King Ranch version. Also for the ebony painted aluminum wheel that is included in the Stealth Performance package. And then also it says the tarnished dark metallic bright machine face aluminum wheel that's included on the Platinum Ultimate package. So we had some issues with that wheel in 25 model year. It looks like it is back and having some issues again for this. And I think both of those wheels are the 24-inch wheels we're talking about there. So there you go. All right, next up is a 26 model year Maverick. Order banks are open up for 26. They are scheduled this week. Main commitment for the weeks of 2-2 to the weeks of 2-23. It says in here, don't forget the orders with that dealer installed optional bed covers, the bed cover soft roll up and the retractable will not be selected for scheduling right now. Also, if you order the light blue exterior color, that will not be selected for scheduling either. And then it does say in here that the 2.0 EcoBoost engine with the engine block heater will not be selected for scheduling. So again, engine block heater, we did see that in Bronco Sport, also for Maverick. Limited availability for the front wheel drive for both XL and XLT versions, and also limited availability for the Tremor version. But that's about it for constraints, which are not too bad on the Maverick there. All right. Also, nothing's really mentioned in here, but I mentioned in the video yesterday that if you do have the power sliding rear window for your XLT, that will not be selected for scheduling either right now. So that's a late availability along with that light blue. So, all right, next up, 26 model year Ranger. Order banks are open up for the Ranger. They're doing main commitment. Again, that for those that haven't watched the rest of the video, that means stock or retail. They are scheduled for the weeks of 2/2 to the weeks of 2/23. No constraints or any notes there for the Ranger. All right, next up is a 26 model year Super Duty. Order banks are open up for the Super Duty. They are scheduled this week for the weeks of 1/5 to the weeks of 1/19 for both Kentucky and Ohio plants. Best configuration says F250 or 350 for the XL, XLT, or Lariat for regular or Super Cab without the bucket seats. All right, limit availability for the Tremor off-road package. Also, the limit availability for the Lariat Premium package that's available. Also, limit availability for the fifth wheel gooseneck hitch prep package. So there you go. Don't forget about that. And then also all wide frame wheelbases for dual rear wheel pickups are also limit availability. So that's your F3C body code, F3D, F3C, or I'm sorry, W3C, W3D. So that'd be two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, regular and crew cab dualies. And then F4C, F4D, again, two-wheel drive and 4x4 regular cab, F450 dualies, and then the crew cab dualies on the F450 as well. So all those are going to be limited availability. So there you go. All right. Next up is the 26 model year F-150. Order banks are open up right now for that, and they are scheduled at Dearborn for the weeks of 1/5 to the weeks of 2/9, and at Kansas City for the weeks of 12/15 to the weeks of 2/9. And then it does say in here that paint colors Argon Blue, Avalanche, Ruby Red are no longer compatible with the 200B, 201A. Those are your STX trim levels. And then also 500A, which is your base Lariat, and 300A, which is your base XLT, as well as 301 and 302A equipment groups, which are on your XLT, unless they include either the chrome package or the black appearance package. So if you want just a standard one, you can't get them unless, like on the 301 and 302A, you order it with a chrome package or the black appearance package. So something to note there on those colors. That's, again, those colors are Argon Blue, Avalanche, and Ruby Red. All right. Tailgate step is no longer offered in the following equipment groups: King Ranch 600 and 601A, Platinum Plus, Platinum Base with the satin package, and then also on the 700 and 701A, it looks like too. So, and then the painted color antimatter blue is now available, exclusively for Dearborn assembly plant orders. So that is so antimatter blue will not be built in Kansas City. It says Kansas City not scheduling the 3.5 gas engine with orders with the 50 state emissions. So if you have the 50 state emissions and the 3.5, if it's a Kansas City order, then it would not be selected for scheduling. And I believe that's your XLTs and maybe STXs. All right, limit availability for the 20-inch gloss black paint aluminum wheel, which is included in the XLT Black Appearance Package Plus and the Lariat Black Appearance Package on the 501 and 502A. So there you go. All right. And then, of course, 26 model year F-150 Lightning is not scheduling this month. We've already talked about that before. They will not schedule until February. So just so you're aware of that. 26 model year Transit. Order banks are open up for that. They are scheduled this week for the weeks of 1/5 to the weeks of 1/26. And then just like we've seen before, best configuration is high roof extended van, high roof long van, low roof van, medium roof van, all cutaways and chassis cabs, the non-EcoBoost 3.5 liter engine, and then the limit availability for some certain body codes. So U6P, U6Z, U8P, U8U, U8X, and U8Z body codes. So those are limited availability body codes for the Transit. So there you go. That's what we have for schedule for this week. Again, if you have any questions, drop them down. I'll try to answer those the best I can. If you need those answers tonight, if you're watching this video live, we'll be on a live stream, and we'll be taking questions live at 7 p.m. Central on Tuesday. That's tonight. So if you want to jump on over, I can answer questions live and help you out the best I can there. And I don't dodge any questions. If I don't know the answer, I'll let you know. And then otherwise drop them down below. And if I don't know the answers, I'll look them up and then I'll respond and let you guys know. So hope you guys did get something out of this, and make sure you're subscribed with the bell notification turned on so you don't miss any of our other videos or the notification for our live stream. Until the next video, stay positive, be kind to one another, be kind to yourself. We'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.